Not saying this because she went to LSU, but I think she's definitely leading in the Rookie of the Year race.
I had to pick a Rookie of the Year at this time.
Like today, you had to pick,
Today,
you know?
it's Angel.
My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings.
Okay.
Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the sky's right above
And
them.
the Sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese.
For me, if Rookie of the Year was picked today, I give it to Angel.
When it comes to one Caitlin Clark, all year long the media, fans, a lot of her detractors, they've been building up her rivalry versus Angel Reese. And they've debated all year long who's the better player, who's more important, who's more valuable, and most recently, who's the Rookie of the Year. Now all these debates, one way or another, they're comical and laughable. But the most laughable one is who's the Rookie of the Year. As Clark since day one, the clear-cut frontrunner to win this award. And day by day, week by week, eventually month by month, widen the gap between her and the second place finisher. And now at this point, the gap is a country mile. When it comes down to the Clark vs. Reese debate, it's 100% media driven for interactions, clicks, and views. And speaking of that race, perfect timing ESPN dropped their list of the Rookie of the Year power rankings. And of course, number one, they had Angel Reese. I mean, this right here, it's divine timing, just absolutely brilliant. As Clark vs. Reese Part 4 ended like a lot of the previous matches. Caitlin Clark, 31 points, 12 assists, 4 boards, nearly 60% shooting with 5 made threes. Angel Reese kind of just laid a dud. I mean, Clark in this game versus the Sky, debatably her best game of the season, and historically speaking, one of the best games in WNBA history, as prior to this, only 4 players ever had a 30-10 game via assist, and Clark compared to those players actually had 30-12, the first player ever to reach those marks in a single game. And if you think that's bad for Reese, it actually gets worse. As Clark in the last 4 minutes of this game checked out up 25, could have gone for 40, but didn't want to stat pad. Angel Reese, what did she do? She stayed in the game and stat padded further, as in the final 4 minutes, had 5 points on 2 of 2 shooting. In the prior 35-36 minutes of the game, Reese only had 5 points total on 2 of 7 shooting. So what she did in this game, in essence, was shamelessly stat pad to get her double-doubles, get her Twitter posts, her likes, and her graphics on ESPN. I mean, right here, it's shameless stat padding of the highest order. And this game right here, in essence, proves the entire double-double streak, the double-doubles, all that stuff is meaningless if you're not winning games. And with stat padding, it makes it virtually irrelevant in the larger debates. And looking at the Sky vs. Fever post-All-Star break, what's happened? One team's gone 5-1, ascended. The other team has gone 1-6 and fallen off a cliff. Ask yourself, why is that? One team is focused on playing winning basketball, team basketball. The other team focused on endorsements, podcasts, getting their stats, their posts on Twitter, and getting their likes. And with the final Reese Clark game finally concluded, let's compare their stats head to head in their 4 games. Caitlin Clark, 20.5 points, of course, more than Reese. 10.0 assists, again, more than Reese. 1.5 steals, more than Reese. 0.5 blocks, again, more than Reese. Higher field goal percentage, 2-point percentage, 3 percentage, and free throw percentage. And the cherry on top, Caitlin Clark, was a plus 30 in these games. Angel Reese was a minus 9. And for 1 second, forget the stats, the numbers, the advanced metrics. I mean, just use your eyes, watch the games. Caitlin Clark, a generational passer, scorer, and shooter. Angel Reese grabs her own rebounds. I mean, honestly, kudos to the media, ESPN, for making fans believe in Angel Reese as the actual Rookie of the Year, because in this race was never close. Clark at this point, honestly, is closer to the MVP than Angel Reese is to the Rookie of the Year. That's how big the gap is between 1 and 2. And when talking MVP Clark, she's not going to win the award this year, but she's in the realm of discussion, top 5, even top 4. And if I was going to make Clark's case for the MVP, of course look at the points, assists, the points generated. Look at those stats all day long. But I think her biggest claim for the MVP is her team's record and their turnaround compared to last season. As honestly, the Fever now versus then have only added Clark as a major player, and despite that, the Fever right now are 16-16. To give some context, Indiana as a franchise, last time they were at 500 for a single year was back in 2016. And looking at someone like Kelsey Mitchell, a veteran, a great player in her own right, her career in Indiana not once has she made the postseason. And looking at the past 7 years, I mean, these records absolutely abysmal. 9-25, 6-28, 13-21, 6-16, 6-26, 5-31, and then 13-27. The Fever's past decade of basketball has been absolutely abysmal. And looking at those past 2 years combined minus Clark, they're 18-58. This year, they're 16-16. With 8 more games to go, the Fever could win more games in Caitlin Clark's rookie season than they won the past 2 years. Absolutely mind-boggling and shows her value to the franchise and the team. Now, if you want to talk individual stats, of course Clark's stats, they're phenomenal. As right now in the season, is responsible for 37 points per game, the most in WNBA history. And post that Team USA snub, her being left off the roster, I mean, she's taken her game to another level. As in the last 10 games, 23 points, 10 assists, 5 boards, 1.4 steals on phenomenal shooting. In those games, Clark ranks first in assists and third in points per game. It's not hyperbolic to say Clark in those games has been a top 5 player in the league, debatably top 3. As looking at her skill set, already the best passer and elite scorer and the best ball handlers in the game. And the further she progresses, advancing her career, only going to get more efficient and less turnover prone. And going back to the Reese vs. Clark debacle, I mean, this right here once again proves that debate was 100% media driven. And the fans who fell for it, honestly, I feel bad for you. Angel Reese, at best, is a fringe all-star, no more for off-the-court activities than her on-the-court play. Caitlin Clark, at her worst, is an all-star. At her best, the best player in the league. And right now, Clark, being a rookie, already putting up these gaudy stats, impressive numbers, already being a first-team All-League candidate, I mean, by year 3, year 4, even like year 5, she's going to be putting up the numbers that we've never seen before. And all those detractors, those doubters, naysayers, I mean, it's going to get very, very tough to watch the WNBA if you're anti-Caitlin Clark. As looking at her rookie year alone, these detractors move the goalpost at every turn. As coming into the year, what they say? Well, Clark won't adjust, it's too physical, it's a quote-unquote grown women league. Well, of course, Clark did adjust, became an all-star, but then what they said? Well, you know, she's not winning, empty stats, not the rookie of the year. Well, post-All-Star break has lost 1 game, putting up 23-10, has beat Reese for the 3rd time in 4 games, and now these same critics, same doubters, are kind of quiet, non-existent. I'm not saying it to be a Caitlin Clark fanatic, buy her jersey, you know, go all out with the Fever, I'm not saying that. But at the basic baseline level, you gotta acknowledge, this girl, one of the best players in the world, highly skilled, great scorer, and all-time great passer, even as a rookie. I mean, that right there is the baseline knowledge regarding Caitlin Clark. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.